Oh, let me see. All right, here we got it finally. Of course it doesn't look good. These stupid live streams. What's going on, guys? God, the light's bright. Here we are. Here we are again in the garage. Super impromptu, spur of the moment live stream. I'm gonna try and just do more of these because I think it's just time that I do. Like, between editing a video and building something, the higher it gets, the harder it gets. At this point in time, people like myself generally have an editor, or at least somebody filming and then doing it. That may possibly be my son here, trying to work out a contract with him. But until then, I'm telling you what, between cranking out videos at the level that I try to crank them out, and then building these boats at the level that we're all striving to go for, I need an editor. I could also just take, yeah, I need an editor. 100%. I could film myself, but I've never actually went too far to go get an editor because I do and say weird things while I build stuff. Like I talk to myself. And then when I have earbuds in, I have the most cringe voice. Like it sounds good in my head when I'm like building. I'm singing along with a song and you hear me in the audio. If I gave like an editor like all this footage, it'd have an immeasurable amount of leverage over me to like blackmail me for permanent embarrassment for how stupid I sound in videos. And for that reason, I've always kind of steered away from getting an editor. Gotta tell you what, I really need one. Maybe just learn some tolerance, right? I could just shut up during the recording time, not say swear words when I'm frustrated, when I run into like 5 problems there's supposed to be none. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know if I can see the chat. I turned this live stream horizontal, like OG YouTube horizontal. They try to make you do this vertical crap. I'd had enough of that. TikTok does that stupid crap. Instagram, Facebook does that stupid crap. YouTube is the only one that had like true horizontal view. The human body is supposed to see horizontally. See, like that your eyes are horizontal, not, you don't got like, your eyes are not like this. Stupid asses, put it stupid. Phone, it makes, I don't know, I'm not like the vertical trend. Your eyes are not vertical. You see horizontal at a more or less like a 24 frame per second view. That's the most natural view for like filming. Anyways, I just wanted to show you guys what we did here and talk about it. I'm trying to do more of these live streams to, you know, just get right into the build and kind of just string this along. Because between dealing with the other 1648 and dealing with the vermin problems in these other boats that I've had, I don't have time to edit and put out videos right now. And it's just time to kind of get crucially in here. By the way, if you're in this chat, please leave a like. It helps heavily. Because every time we get like 10 people in here, they leave a like, then 20 people show up. And then like 30, and then, you know, between 30 and 50 people is a pretty good number. I can generally answer most questions on that time. And I don't know if I can actually see anybody talk. Somebody say something? Anybody in there? There's 19 people in here, 3 likes. See if we can get 19 likes. Mark Cox, thank you, sir. How are you? Check out this thing. Check out this thing, Mark. So let's talk. I'm gonna flip this camera around, all right? Stop. This is very more interesting than my face. All right. This is it. What's going on, Chris? Hey, Chris, check this out. What do we have here? Well, see, first of all, let me show you what we did here. I know I showed this to you yesterday, but it was in the worst vertical video ever. And I truly don't actually know how well this is going to process live, because the other live video that processed and uploaded, because they automatically upload once you're done with the lives, it looked kind of like poop. But I hope I can show you in the live stream here as good as possible how we kind of did this rail system. Normally, we do these side rails. We kind of just notch the angle like that. Now you see how we notched it? You see all those notch points? Notch points like this. Normally we'll get this, and then we'll put it like this, and then we'll rivet it. Oh, a lot of people do it the other way, like that. We have chosen to not do that this time. We have, see all that here? It's completely hollow. So any water that goes over and tries to seep its way into the boat, which on the side is generally how it gets in there. I mean, you can get rid of that with sealing, but some of it still gets in over time. It's just going to go down, right down. The floor is hollow. See that? the floor is hollow. The floor will be hollow. The sides, we could stick foam in them. We might get like, I have like a few little stupid left pieces of pink foam way back in that corner. There's some back behind that marine ply. We could shove some pieces in here. And that would just kind of take down the vibration. It wouldn't really do much else other than just vibration dampening. But then it's also there to prone to degradation. So the whole point is though, everything around it, it's kind of like a skeleton inside the boat. It's attached to the boat, it's attached to the ribs, and then everything is floating on top of the ribs. There's nothing actually secured to the hull other than the ribs. And then to the transom. And then we have these pieces. There's these aluminum sheets. This is a sheet metal pack we give you. The sheets that we give you are like this size. They're 16 inches wide, 4 feet long, and they come in various like thicknesses. This is the thinnest sheet we have. This is that. We bent that with a Harbor Freight metal brake, and the Harbor Freight metal brake will actually bend up to 1/16. Although we have 090 sheets, it will not bend 090 unless you put a torch to it, and then you risk warping it, but it still will work. But we kind of bent that, put it in here. The subfloor was already in here. Like, I mean, this is the stock subfloor. We just obviously took a wire wheel to get all the crud off, stuck it in here. But this is in here. We still got to run a piece here. I don't know if you can see this thing. Still got to run a piece here, right there. And then seal it off. You know what I found out is better to seal off than gap filler? Duct tape. So, this stuff. Just get duct tape. That's how we did it with the other 1648. So some things that we did in the other 1648, we're going to have a better run here. Let me switch this over here. We're going to have a better run with this boat because I just got done doing a 1648 with kind of the OG Bass Tracker style budgetist. People wanted a budgetist build. That boat was about $2,000 in today's money. Would have been like less than $2,000, like probably closer to $1,200, $1,300 in old days, like pre-2020 days. But today's time, about $2,000, $2,200 to do that boat, which is still pretty cheap. But that was like the budgetist build. You know, that kind of build. That's what people wanted. So we did it. But we learned a lot during that time. And so a lot of mistakes were made and a lot of rework was made. So this time I get like an immediate do-over. Because almost right when I'm toward the end of the build, I'm like, man, I should have done this, should have done that. Now I could just do it. I don't have to wait like a year or a year and a half till I find another boat that might be that similar. I don't get a whole lot of chances to redo anything. So, but we get like an immediate redo here. Let me see this. Well, some of the things that we did do right is duct tape here. Let me see if I can catch this with the gun. I'm going to show you guys something. Stay phone. I'm sorry, guys, for all the shaking. I got this little mini rig here. This is how I'm getting it all done. All right. So this is a leading edge, right? This is a live well. We're not riveting any of this to the live well for obvious reasons, right? So we're going to get this tape that is really on there. And I can't get it off. All right. Obviously, we're going to rib that. This is a super mock piece here. Okay. That piece is going to be here to frame up the front, but for the moment, just for example's sake. This, we used to use gap filler. Close or unclose, doesn't matter. All you're doing is filling gaps. You're not trying to create reserve foam, but this works so much better. I've had so many times where the foam, just the pressure of the pour foam, because this is what this is. This is a void for the foam that sits above the subfloor and away from the wall. So the foam never can corrode the hull again. That's the whole reason we have it like this. And then, but in some spots, I tried the tape. I wasn't sure how confident, I wasn't really confident about how well the tape would work, so I didn't use it everywhere. And I put gap filler where I thought it would, where at least I knew what I could expect from gap filler. It will fail, but most of the time it'll succeed. And I'll tell you, all the places I put the tape, No fails. The pour foam, no matter how strong it is, no matter how hard the expansion or how violent the expansion, it did not break that tape. But it sure as heck broke the gap filler. It'll break it right off. It'll break it right off, break through the seams, and then you'll just have to deal with whatever it is. Like, once you pour it, it's too late. It's too late. Then used this stuff, but then we also used our US composite from our actual store, tvnation.net. By the way, we have the biggest Christmas sale going on right now. It's huge. So if you're like, so we're trying to have a mega sale. We're trying to reach goals for the year. And because of that, we're offering very generous gift cards back in conjunction with percentages off right off the bat. So you guys check out our big mega sale, lights, gifts, build kits, all the other accessories we make going on sale for the next 12 days. We're having a 12 days of Christmas sale. It's a pretty big deal. We're back into this. This is what we were using. If you get this stuff and you get it from Amazon, know that it needs to be in plastic, because the plastic is like their updated stuff. There was this old stuff floating around Amazon, and it was horrible stuff. You would mix it, it would ruin boats. There's got to be at least X amount of people out there with not properly expanded pour foam in their boats because of the stuff floating around on Amazon. So for a while, we were telling people just buy the US composite stuff from our website. But if you want to get it from Amazon, I think they ran through all the old stuff, because this is stuff that came to me new. If it comes in plastic, like this is their updated stuff. This stuff is good. Otherwise, I would buy directly from Total Boat if you're just sold on the Total Boat pour foam. But the whole difference between this stuff and our stuff that we get on the website is our stuff expands slower. You have a lot longer work time, and I'll tell you that matters. That matters, because by the time you turn that stuff gold, it has to be like a solid gold before you can pour it. And by the time it's gold, it's ready to go. It starts spanning out the boat. The other stuff, the US composite stuff, you can swirl it up with a little, thing, a little spatula thing, or whatever you call it. The little paint mixer that we put on the drill. And then once it's gold, you have a good 10, 20 seconds, maybe longer. Longer if it's colder, shorter if it's not, to kind of pour that. And then you'd want to kind of pour it down the way, like pour it on the surface. So if you just pour it on the floor, as it expands, it'll expand, but then it'll pull away, because there's something about it expanding. It's not as sticky, or it doesn't bond to the aluminum surface. Even if you painted this and roughed it up, it still doesn't bond to the surface like it does in its liquid state. So say if you poured it on the ledge and it seeped down into the bottom, it would stick here. It's hard to get it everywhere. You ain't gonna get it on a vertical surface with a big 1-gallon bucket. This is not gonna happen. But you definitely want to. This is like a 40 to 50 ounce pour right here. That's how much ounces it would take. So 25, 50 split, 50 ounces would probably fill this whole chasm. Maybe 60. I probably would pour 60 in this one. Same thing for the other side. You can kind of see the other side is not finished. Here's a live well, but this whole section is pretty solid. So we're gonna go ahead and end up we're just able to kind of get away with this because we can weld at least some of these parts, but we could have just still done this anyways by the traditional way of doing the side rails, which everybody still does, including me sometimes. So nope. This bends. This will bend. We'll attach it in here, and then we'll put an adjacent one to T-frame. T-frame. We also need to T-frame this. You see how this is all T-framed? So when the lids sit on this, it will be. You'll have an extra spot to put the sheet metal on. So let me get this real quick. All right. So this is like the live well hatch. You get it. If you get the whole live well, it comes with a nice powder coated hatch. If you want the latch hole and latch drilled in and like pre-installed, we'll do it to you. We'll leave the key taped right to the hatch. You can find it. Could just drop in like that. Pretty clean. Very, very clean. Very easy to install. Copious amount of flush mount rivets around. We get the. I don't know where the rear facing hatch went. Where did the There's a rear facing hatch here somewhere. Oh. Hold on. rear facing hatch. This would just drop right in. And this drop right in right. Ow. There it is. Okay, these lids were off because once you have the holes properly fitted for each hatch, symmetrically sound like this. And these are the kits, these are the sizes. These are 33 inches long. 33 inches long, 33 inches long, live well hatch. Without the plumbing yet, we're still waiting on the flow right kit. And the rear hatch. It's meant to be symmetrically sound. That way when you frame out your 1648 John boat with this kit, the 1648 John boat build kit, which is what we're using to frame this whole thing out, it'll just be quite easy. And then right here, that's tubing. Remember, we needed tubing. We provide you with 4 1 1/4 inch pieces of square tube. And 2 of those, if you frame it out right, you should be able to frame 1 on each side of the live well. And they have a little bit left over that you can just rivet here. Now, we welded here for longevity because we could, but riveting through the live well into that tube, and then eventually riveting the piece of sheet metal onto this, that really stiffens up everything pretty strong. You're not going to really tell a difference. But later on, we're going to get another piece, and we're going to put this here, and that'll give us a platform to put sheet metal. So these are pretty much sheet metal platforms. So once we run on our conduits through here, so we'll be running probably some PVC or some flex hose conduits, because we always need to run the bilge wires and fish finder wires and, you know, the transducer and whatever other nonsense, backwater lights, you know, all that stuff we got to put back here. And because of that, we got to run some of those things before we pour. But once those are in there, then we pour. And then the front, you got to figure out what we're going to do. We're still going to run those seats, but I kind of ran into a jam with those because I was trying to put the subfloor in, this piece is really just a cover piece. So if we end up, we might not even cover this piece. I was going to cover this, but we may end up just leaving it open. And this whole chasm area here, like this whole thing, once we put the seats in, we might just pour foam and it'll go under the seats and expand. So we might have a whole big U-shaped thing of foam that is in these selected areas that is completely away from the hull. No more damage can happen to the hull. Have you ever seen an aluminum boat that had damage to the hull? Like where the foam wasn't? The answer is no. Not unless you're in the salt. If you're in the salt, then yeah, probably. But the answer, I mean, for me, no. The parts of this boat's like 60 years old. It's old. Probably older. It's probably older than that. It's very old, I'm saying. But it looks brand new. If I wouldn't like brighten it up with like aluminum polish, it would look brand new. Except for where the foam was and obviously where the treated plywood was. That was the whole thing. By the way, guys, if you're new in the chat, please leave a like. And also, this live stream is brought to you by tvnation.net. We're having the biggest sale of the year. It's happening right now. It's called the 12 Days of Christmas. So for 12 days straight, we're going to have the biggest sale of the year. Gift cards, percentages off, all that stuff. Hit us up, guys, and give us a call. We have a customer service line, which I answer sometimes when I have time. And then our group of guys down there are really good guys, too. All right. Okay, I ran out of things to talk about. You guys got any questions? You guys got any questions? I don't even know how to look up. I used to be able to tap on this. Where's the chat? I don't even know. Okay, if you guys say something right now, I'll see it. I think. Maybe not. All right. Yeah, I'm really not liking the way YouTube used to just like have the chats and I could scroll. You got an Aquos PF380, Jay? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, there. It let me finally do it. Look at that. Maybe I can read and do some... We can do some Q&A here. If you guys got some quick questions, I can answer them to the best of my ability. Build your son... So, T-Hammock. You built your son's 9-foot tiny boat 3 years ago? 9 feet, huh? That's short. That's short. Well, I appreciate that my videos helped you. I've never built one that small. Not a John boat, at least. I built a an 8-foot prom prowler. That was pretty small. the smallest boat I ever built, or ever built up. It was already built. I just modified it. All right. Watching from Indianapolis. Thank you, Mark Cox. And yes, thanks for the Christmas sales. I appreciate you guys for checking those Christmas sales out. We definitely do appreciate it. We're trying to break our goal here. We're like a few $1,000s away from breaking it. If we can break it, it's a big deal for us. So we're definitely willing to compensate you guys in the back end for helping us break that goal. Hold on, is this? Let me wipe this lens off. No, it's not that. It's just the screen is just crappy. Sorry, guys. Can't give you better quality. Streaming constantly from an iPhone. Can I sponsor Albert Rosas? Can you sponsor a boat? Just need a. We do random sponsorships for people who ask, but there so many people ask, so we can throw it in the pool of spots. We have like a sponsorship for those things. We're pretty much just giving. We're giving stuff away. So that's how we look at it. Like, we do stuff like that. But a sponsorship is essentially work for work. And so that's what a sponsorship is, if you guys ever know. Like, so most of the people we've ever tried to sponsor are just truly embarrassing. I say that officially. No names, but most of them. There's only like a few that have ever been really good. And yeah, so what we found in that is it's just better just give stuff away, and in the back end maybe good karma will happen, than versus trying to like put somebody under the pressure of sponsorship, because most people don't really get it. Not saying that you guys aren't, you yourselves aren't intelligent enough to get what a sponsorship is, but in the sense, if somebody approaches me, say, hey, I like your channel and what it does, will you promote this product for us? Then I gotta like, essentially doing work for work. They give me a product or product plus fee, but then I gotta do what they say. So a lot of people that we've sponsored, they get all our stuff, and then they don't do anything we say. And then they just kind of like take what we gave them and run. So we, that's why we don't sponsor people, but we can give things away when we're doing good. So if this Christmas is doing good, we'll be giving some things away. For sure, 100%. We just rather give things away. That way there's no expectations, right? There's just rewards for our audience continually supporting us. And that in itself is a sponsorship. So then we give things away in return. Let me look at you. Okay, plan on getting a Pelican next. Don't get it. Get a palm prowler. The Pelican is not a good boat, to me. It's not a bad boat. It's just not as good as like a palm prowler. In term, like the overall design, they're both crappy two-piece hulls, but the palm prowler is actually aerodynamic and has things. What HydrTurf color do I recommend for black and silver bass tracker? Our brand new TBN dark camo, Dominic Glimpf. Our TBN dark camo is the boss color. Like there's all those HydrTurf camo colors. Our colors, the TBN light, the original one, which is on that budget build and on the bow rig, and then this new dark one that they just started using that I'm going to use on this John boat. Just we're not there yet. That stuff looks phenomenal. Like back in the day, I photoshopped like duck camo, I think, because HydrTurf has all these camo colors. Some of them are extremely ugly, and some of them don't look so bad. And the duck camo is just like right in there. It has a really good color, but then it had these odd browns and yellows in it. So I took that out with Photoshop and made it gray, and everybody loved it and asked us for those sheets. And we're like, well, we Photoshopped that, so we don't have any of those sheets. But then HydrTurf came and helped us out eventually, and we got those sheets made. And so that's what our TBN dark camo looks exactly like that Photoshop picture I made like 3 or 4 years ago. We finally just got it in now. It's better late than never, but you guys should move on that. That's like a hot color. I think that's personally the best color HydrTurf has ever made. I might be a little biased though, truly. All right. Oh, Jay, now you heard about the LiveScope Pro versus Anti? There's a LiveScope Pro? I have to look at that. I don't actually know anything about that. I don't want to comment on something that I'm not educated on. Dual dude, what's going on? You just got into fishing a few months ago? Good. And okay. Heck yeah, guys. We got a ton of knowledge. We got a ton of videos. There's like 500 videos out there floating around of knowledge. And then because there's so many videos, we've tried to like taper it down to playlists. If you check our playlist, if you click the channel and you look on playlists, you might be able to narrow it down. We have entire build series on each boat. So if you find a boat that you like, there are actual playlists for that boat. There's generally a playlist attached. That means a series of videos, and then there's also like exclusive videos. And we also have our master classes, which are right tailored. So if you're like, okay, I like what this guy does, I don't have time to watch all those 500 videos of nonsense where he just talks. Like, I have videos in master classes on the channel and on our site, to be honest, like, they just tailor right down to brass tacks, tell you exactly what you need to know about what you're going to do, and show you what you need. And so those work. Oh, people say live scope is cheating. Well, yeah, it is. Like, kind of. Well, you still have to get the fish to bite. So if live scope is cheating, then all fish finders are cheating. Just live scope's cheating on a higher level. So there's no way that. But most fishermen you'll find at least have a standard fish finder. So if you can mark fish on their fish finder, then you mark them. Just live scope just helps you trace where they go. You're not seeing a past image of where they were at. You're seeing a current image constantly updating live of where they're at. So it is, yeah, it's more advanced cheating for sure. But if it's just a more advanced way, should it be allowed in tournaments? I don't know. It's pretty hard to stop it. But people said the same thing about traditional sonar, then down imaging. When down imaging came out, everybody was like, oh, this is cheating. And then when side imaging came out, people were like, oh, this is cheating. And then people just kind of move on. Live scope has gotten a little ridiculous. It has changed the way people fish forever. But I don't really know. I mean, I live scope, so I don't do it all the time. But when I'm trying to find fish and it's hard, yeah, guilty. I don't know. I skipped your question, Cody. I did not mean to. Let me look at your question. I didn't see you in here. Oh, there it is. If I put pour foam in the framing, not in the flooring, are you putting drain tubes? So, Cody, the water gets into the foam because it's on the bottom or seeps into the side. So look at this real quick. The side is exposed, but the chasm in which like the pour foam is going to go is pulled away from the hull. So if water goes on the side to try and seep in, it can't, because this is completely pulled away. Remember, it's a floating skeleton. Pretty much the inside of the boat is floating away from the outside of the hull by about an inch or an inch and a half, however long the ribs are. So no, water can't get in there. Once we rivet and we turf over this, that's it. Water ain't gonna get into these ever again. Like, there's a slight chance that it might be able to get back here, but we'll seal that. You can seal the edge with silicone right there. Water ain't gonna get in. Water can't get into this. It's too hard. Won't do it. That avoids having to use those drain hoses and all that nonsense we used to go through, because we used to go through a lot of stuff. People have been onto this channel for a while. I've seen all the great lengths we try to go through to maximize longevity of life in some of these things, and not just be another boat manufacturer that just builds boats just to build them and cranks them out quickly and not so great. We tried a lot of things. Some of those things weren't great long term, but I think this right here is going to be fantastic long term. All the evidence suggests that if there's no foam on the hull, that's where all the corrosion or all the damage happens. When there's foam on the hull that just sits there and is saturated and constantly wet, then aluminum is pretty resistant to electrolysis, but it's not completely bulletproof. So if water sits on there long enough, yeah, it will rust. It won't rust, but it'll oxidize and pit, which is why the transoms are always continuously shot. The transoms are always super shot, like shot. So this one, you could tell this one shot. This is actually the skin. This is a brand new transom underneath there, brand new aluminum transom. But the transom before that was treated, and even non-treated plywood transoms, water just gets in there and sits in there. It's shot. Most people now, I think, if they can, will get an aluminum transom. Just because the rest of the boat is like almost perfect. So if you put aluminum on aluminum, the transom's gonna last as long as the back of the boat. The first thing that's gonna go is your transom. Constantly getting flexed on by the motor. Constantly the water is going over the transom before it goes over any other part of the boat. It's the transom and the subfloor that get jacked up the most. But if we have a free-flowing area, and then also, I did have the common sense when I was working on this boat before I had to stop on it to primer the hull. So we even got that layer of protection. Hull is primered. It was a little extent of a give. I had to like etch wash it so the epoxy primer could stick to it, and then epoxy primer, which is the toughest primer you're going to be able to get for aluminum. Then I painted it. So it's been on here for a few years. It's a little oxidized because it's been sitting out there in the hot Arizona sun, but it's still pretty thick. To grind that off, we actually had to grind it off pieces of it to weld, and it was still really thick, even though it's oxidized. So epoxy primer is pretty good. Let me see. Hope I got your question code. I didn't mean to skip you. I was just looking through you guys. Hey, if you 30 in the live, can you guys hit the likes? We're at 19 likes. 30 likes would be awesome. Then 50, whatever. I mean, if all 31 of you are new, then you'll get us up to 50 likes, and this chat will go up. Then we'll finally have recovered the live stream nonsense. We had 2 failed live streams in the past 2 days. Yeah, we're like 2 for 2. Let's make this one a win. That way, it's not a 3 strikes and you're out kind of thing. All right, let me catch up the questions. Okay, got Cody's question. Albert. Yeah, Albert. If there's anything I will say about live scope is it shows you how bad of a fisherman you really are. Because it's really easy. You have a traditional fish finder. It may scan the fish. You know, you may roll over them. It is really easy to say, well, the fish just aren't biting. They're not here. But when you can actually see them and where they're at, you can actually see how useless you are when you try to fish for them. And no matter what you throw at them, they're just like, meh. Like, it makes you feel this small. Like, it was just easier to like think that they weren't there than just to know you suck. So that is also a thing of life. It's a double-edged sword. It really is. And you'll also spend it, if you find fish and you know they're there, like if there's another area, like you're fishing an area, you don't really know there's fish there because you can't scan it with live. So you'll fish there, you throw a few casts, you'll be like, oh, there's no fish here, and you'll leave, you'll move on, and you probably find fish that way. If you find a pocket of fish, you have to remember to leave. If they're not biting, leave. But you get a lot of these people, they'll be like, I found fish, and they'll stay there, and they'll eat up their whole day, not catch one fish. Guilty also. I don't do that anymore. That kind of learned. It's a learning process. So, all right. Any tips on putting HydrTurf on bends edges? Yes. Yes, I do. Damien, Glenn, check this out. Leave an overhang. Is an overhang 1.5 inches? Leave an overhang. Okay, like this. And then cut it flush. And we have that video. I just released a HydrTurf video specifically talking about this. It's my newest upload, newest full form video upload. Where if you, and then we're also gonna use door edge guard. Let me show you this real quick. To deal with my pile of crap here. This is door edge guard from Amazon. We bought it very cheaply. All right. This is 1/16 inch angle. The door edge guard loves it. It'll go right on there. And then when you put O90 on here, you'll have to kind of stretch it on. It won't fit so nice like this because you remember we still have to sheet metal it like so, right? Hey, that fits right there. Sweet. Prime example. Here, I'm gonna set this phone here because I can actually show you since that piece somehow miraculously just fits perfect there. All right, this is how you take care of an edge. Lead an overhanging ledge, right? And then you put this on there. Without cutting yourself, you should probably wear gloves. Freaking damn it. There we are. And we recommend 090 0.090 sheets of aluminum for the top deck. It's really all you need, as long as you have a pretty good span of, like a foot span between the T-frames. Okay. We got a piece of random turf I can throw on here. Oh, I got this, guys. We're going all out in this live. We're gonna do it. By the way, guys, if you're in this chat, biggest sale of the year, our 12 days of Christmas sale. We're giving monstrous discounts. We've never given them before. You should check it out on build kits. Like, hold on. Okay, so here we go. cut this stuff. This is our TV and light camo, by the way. Our exclusive camo. You can't get this anywhere else. This one and then the dark camo. So I hope I don't need this piece later. I just ruined it. But for the sake of the audience, the show must go on. So you would say you would cut this piece. So about the frame backing. Hopefully it comes all up in one piece and not like a million like it's doing right here. You guys seeing this? All right. Got door edge guard, right? You see it? See it right there? If you guys are new in the chat, leave a thumbs up, please, for this. Because I just ruined this piece of HydrTurf for you guys. Here we go. You can put it here. If you have an overlapping piece, we're gonna overlap it because we want to show you. Once you put a piece on like that, don't press too hard on it like I just did. That was real stupid. But when you place the HydrTurf, as long as you don't press on it, now I'm gonna have a problem pulling this off. But as long as you just place it, but you don't press, the minute you press, the adhesive activates. It's a little cold in here, so I think I can get this piece off. Yeah, thank heaven. Okay, if you let this bake in the sun, that's it. You're not gonna pull all of it off. You'll get chunks of it off, and it'll be a mess. Okay, don't let this sit out in the sun. Don't install it in the sun. And then, when you install it, make sure that's how you want to leave it, because it's either sits for 24 hours and it activates. When you press on it, it activates faster. And when you're in the sun, it activates completely. You'll never get it off. But here, see this? Okay, run it. No, something is cut. No, I don't use these. I use like a smaller one. These. Use these. There are some. These are dollar store Harbor Freight utility knives. Best thing you can get. These, you would think they would cut nicer, right? It's all expensive. No. Right. Look. See how nice that cuts? So beautiful. There. That's how you take care of a leading edge. Right? Now you have this. So you knock your knee against it. No big deal. Right foot, knee, shin, whatever. It's protecting. Then this is protecting. Then you can just do like your overlaying piece that sticks up in here. You don't have to worry about how it looks. You don't have to worry about the bend, because hitting against that bend, eventually you'll break that turf and it'll crack and look ridiculous. And I don't really, when you droop it over a vertical wall, it just doesn't look right. Not look as clean as if it looks like it's like this. Looks a lot cleaner. But this is a whole 1.5 inch overhanging lip. We generally recommend like 1 inch, but 1.5 inches is fine. It'll still look clean. It looks really clean on the other 1648 we did. Yeah, all right, got that off. Okay, full adhesive backing, really good stuff. It's very sticky, but it's workable. I'll say some other turf stuff, when you stick that better be like your place, because getting it off you'll end up stretching and ruining the turf trying to get it off. But this stuff's pretty good. Let me see what you guys got here. Let me see. All right, guys, I appreciate the likes. Keep them going, because, I think we're making a pretty useful live stream. I kind of got my groove back. Can I show the side? Yeah, I can show the side profile. Let me put that back on here. And let me go over here to, here we go. Ready? No, come on, camera. Like that. See it? Like that. That's how you should do it. And actually, I didn't make that up. Nate made that up from the Fireant Outdoors Midwest. He showed me that the overhanging edge is how you should really do these, and it looks a lot cleaner. And he is correct. It is. If you were already too far in your build, and you made the edges butt up like a square, and you can't add the overhanging lip, it's not a big deal. What you would do at that point in time is you would make the vertical wall first, and then you would cut that flush. Then you would put the overlaying decking, the horizontal decking, over it, and then cut it flush right on top of the vertical. And that will actually be better than if you folded it over. It'll look better than if you folded it over, and it'll last longer if you folded it over. And you can actually, it's two separate pieces, so you can replace stuff if it gets damaged. Oh yeah, check this out. I'll show you something about HydrTurf even better. By the way, we're running a huge sale on HydrTurf right now. 12 days of Christmas. Check this out. Check this out. I'll show you something cool about camo turf. Like, I always talk about it, but I know, like, I have a monotone voice and people don't really like it, so they probably don't watch it. So I'll just show you. See this? I'll show you something. Check this out. Actually, it's cool over here. Slit 1. Slit 2. Leave a like for this, because this is pretty cool. Nobody else is doing this for you. Well, maybe somebody is. I don't know. I don't watch YouTube. Okay, check this out. You know what's cool about cut groove HydrTurf? This. You want to bend it around a curve. Oh, look at that. See this? So you have a really difficult corner if you just want to make a really intricate leading cosmetic edge on your turf or on your side rail. Is that one cut? No. That's good, right? Check this out. Say your buddy, and it's always your buddy, it's never you, right? Drags his tackle and just screws this piece up. Look, like he just screws it up. Like it's all messed up and all. And you're like, oh, friend, why did you do that? Why did you cut it up? Why is it? It's terrible. What you can do then, if you had a regular turf deck that's like the teak or like a custom deck, you probably would start crying. I would start crying. I probably would never bite that guy on my boat again. But it's no big deal here. So watch this. Watch this. We're gonna cut this. You're gonna get that one part out. Cut a leading edge. There's a damage piece. We tried to damage it as well. But even when I cut it up, look how good it still looks. Even though I tried to damage it there. That's how actually durable the HydrTurf. Not all EVA foam is rated equal. This is the toughest stuff on the market. It's truly robust. It made me an instant mind changer and even a liar at some point in time when I said this isn't tough because it's foam. Lies. It is tough. But anyways, here. Check this out. Took that piece out, right? We can then just cut another piece. How big is that piece? It's 3 strips? Yeah, right here. You can take a brand new piece. We're going to cut it from the parent piece so we don't ruin any more turf. But you could cut a brand new piece out of, say, you have a spare roll, because you're always going to have spare, right? Keep your spare in a nice little safe place. Just stick it right in there. It'll go right in there. Can you tell? Can you tell? Leave a like for that. Leave a like for that. No, you can't tell. If it was like the black mat or the tan or the gray cut groove, you could probably maybe tell more. But even then, because it just butts up so nice. Check this out. One. Check this out. Come on. Get up. We just cut this to a puzzle, right? You put it back into pieces, you can't tell. I'm gonna put it back right now. This stuff is so user-friendly, it's ridiculous. It makes the need for a pro, like, there's no need for a pro. Let's be honest, there's no need. That piece, one right there. And then right there, the little dingleberry piece. All right, I probably could pack that piece in a little tighter. Check this out. Check this out. You can kind of tell for sure, but to the naked eye, who just, if you don't know to look for that, what are you gonna do? Like it looks like maybe like a normal wear and tear. On no, Oh, hold on. I'll answer that question, Hector, in a second. But it looks like maybe normal wear and tear. But it doesn't look. That's what you can do. You can cut this into a bunch of pieces and piece it together real tight, and it'll still look really good because the camo breaks up that need. So Not only is it really durable, as we demonstrated with this cut up piece here, right? But if you have to replace a strip, no big deal. If it gets dirty, no big deal. If it gets cut up and you have to relay the piece, no big deal. It's unstoppable. HydrTurf is unstoppable. And that's saying, because I was not a big proponent for EVA foam like turf for the longest time. I thought it was spammed out and overused. No, definitely you could go hunting. I put this right on a hunting rig. You know, a lot of people like to spray their hulls with that non-skid, or they put marine vinyl over it. Those are the two most useless things you could cover your boat with. You just wasted your money. Truly, those do nothing. They heat up tremendously. They'll heat up. They attract heat and actually paint right on the aluminum deck. You're getting like the full heat of the deck. Plus, I know it's robust and it's easy to wash off, but so is this stuff. This stuff doesn't really hold in stuff or stink, not like carpet will. You can spray it right off. If it gets dirty, you can spray it right off. If you get blood on it, spray some peroxide on it, takes the blood right out. Or a pressure washer takes the blood right out. You can take a pressure washer to this stuff, and as long as you're not right into it, you can spray off most of the crud and get it looking like brand new. It's like very good stuff. You guys just enter the chat. Go ahead and leave a like here. We're going to go ahead and go into some Q&A. By the way, for anybody who's new, we're having our 12 days of Christmas sale, biggest sale of the year. Like huge discounts, gift cards, discounts plus gift cards. We're trying to really help everybody prepare for the spring because the time is right now. Because you know, like coming to spring, you're like a lot of people wait to build their boat to the spring. It's like it switches off. You see it switch off like all the way nationally throughout America. Right around August, September, people just turn off, focus on fall and winter events like hunting, snowboarding, whatever. And then it's like January, February hits. It's like they just turn back on the boats. But by then it's already like spring is in March. You're going to like miss half the season building your boat. You should build it right now, or at least prepare for it right now. Get all the stuff. That way the process goes a little smoother. But here we go. Let me get in here. All right. Would I still add adhesive with this turf? Well, that is adhesive. Hector? There is no... Look, I know we sell non-adhesive turf, but that's just because we kind of have to give you an option. But I would never get that stuff. It's stupid. Because the only way you can actually... attach that is with contact cement. And you know, if anybody's used contact cement, you know you have like a one chance to get it right. One chance. So when you apply that, you better just be a precision machine. Otherwise, if it's crooked, it's like that forever. It's like if you left this stuff in the sun baking. But look how we can still adjust this right now. We can still adjust this right now. We can adjust it all over the place. Truly, yeah. So it's you can adjust this stuff right now. This stuff won't set until we put it in the sun, or if it sits for over a day. This stuff is workable. The difference between like using contact cement and just using the standard adhesive that comes with these things is that it's workable. You want the workability to ease of movement. I don't have a high enough IQ to like use this stuff without having it being workable. I can't like see far enough ahead because you will run into problems. You'll like put the whole sheet on and you're thinking it's straight and you go and look at it, you're like, it's not straight. And you're gonna be so glad you can pull that up. You're gonna love the fact that you can pull that up. But if you did that with contact cement, I don't know, you'd be cursing, and then you just have to live with it. You just have to look at it every day, every time you take out your boat. All right, let's look at could you use epoxy for the boat floor before, like for wood? Get G-style fishing? Like you're talking about for wood? I wouldn't use epoxy unless you're gonna run a wood subfloor. But yeah, you could do, I mean, the only way to really make a good wood subfloor is going to last any good period of time is to use epoxy. And we actually have a video for that. We have a budget build V-hull of 14-foot Starcraft we restored in 1957. And we did that one. They did the deck and the side panels and the subfloor out of wood on purpose to show you how well it works with these hatches. It feels just as solid, if not more solid, than an aluminum deck. And I say that officially. Because wood, the one thing wood has over aluminum, that will always have over aluminum, is its strength per span, it's stronger. So you have to use less supports. And as long as it's preserved right, it feels more solid, actually. All right. Okay. Let me... Oh, and the bunks, these are not Gatorback bunks. These are just, I don't know, crappy trailer bunks. I don't think I still... we're going to be doing a Gatorback video here pretty soon. And does the turf come with that sticky back? Yes. You have to get it with adhesive, though. It's so worth it to get it adhesive. You'll love that you paid the extra money for it. All right, installing... Gatorback bunks are wild, for sure. We actually installed some on a pontoon boat. They look really good. Let me see. Okay, thank you guys for the likes and for the comments on the HydrTurf. I'm glad I finally got to show that. You know, I should have made an actual video just showing that. I might just put an actual video because I know this live stream is going to upload. It's going to look like poop. It'll actually show a high resolution 4K video of doing just that. And HydrTurf is on sale right now, Damien. Right now, 12 days of Christmas. It is on sale right now. We bought 2 pallets. We have an overstock. We didn't even mean to buy 2 pallets, but we did. So we're being very generous this Christmas on HydrTurf. This is the time to get it. It's going to take, in this boat here, it's going to take 6 sheets, 5, 6 sheets of it. That's what it's going to take to do this whole boat. So that's how much. About that much. You would, could you use epoxy to seal the floor because... For pour foam, like if you cut the pour foam off, you need to seal it. If it's high, just make it all the way high and cut it flush. Water's really not going to get underneath your paneling for that to be a big enough deal. You're going to waste a lot of money and add a lot more weight to your boat to do that, and that it's not going to be that much more effective. It might be a little bit more important on the bottom end if you pour foam a subfloor with a channel in the middle. If you're really set on doing that, you could go that way. But I would just once you cut that foam, it'll absorb so much epoxy. Like it would take you another $100, $200 worth of epoxy and all that weight of the gallon of epoxy that's in your boat now. So I probably would not do it. Most people don't do it. Even boat manufacturers who push out and have to cut the foam flush before they put a subfloor on don't do it, and I kind of see why. Because where the water's really going to catch is underneath. The water gets underneath the pour foam where it's sealed, where it seals, and you don't cut it. It's always there where it compromises it. It's got a 2% water absorption and eventually goes to 5 and 10. Etc. What time is it? I wonder. I've been on live for a while. I probably had to go pick up my daughter. Dang, I need that phone. I think I had to end this. Darn it, I was on a roll. Let me see if I can answer the questions here pretty quickly. How hard is to get HydrTurf off? It's a little hard. You're gonna need xylene and a scraper, but it'll come off. It does suck. But so does carpet. Nothing else is better. You pull off any sort of top, pull off paint, pull off marine vinyl, pull off carpet. Carpet's the worst. I mean, it all stinks to have to redeck your boat. That's why like people will charge like $3 or $4 grand to rebuild a whole boat. Let me go check what time it is, guys. Sorry. Oh yeah, I gotta get going. Hold on, guys. Yep, I must go to pick up my daughter because she's getting off of soccer practice. Let me see if I can get I got time for 2 more questions. Also, do you have the price of the TV and dark camo on hand? It's like, oh, do I have it? I do. I don't know how well I can axe it with one hand. I'm gonna try my best, like. Fail. No, my lights. Oh, that'll be all right. All right, here. Check it out. There it is. There it is. And then this is the light. The light versus dark. So if you really want the light, it just has that extra light in there. It actually really pops with LEDs, especially if you run like some purple, like some UV, some like blue LEDs. Kind of, you know, that UV effect, ultraviolet effect, or the blue light effect. It really blows this up at night. So this is really good for night stuff, or just, it looks good in general, but this stuff I think just looks better. It'll perform a little worse if you add boat lights at night. The gray is going to, and the blacks are going to suck up a little bit more of the lighting, but it looks really good. Looks really good. Works really good. All right, guys, that's all I have time for. Thank you guys for coming back in here and making this a much better live stream. I really do appreciate it. We're going to try and do more lives and stuff like this. If you guys have any ideas, or stuff you just want to see on the spot and demand, show me this. Show me how to frame this. Show me an overhanging ledge. Show me how well HydrTurf and how durable it is. You guys got ideas? Go ahead and post it to this deal. And remember, we got our 12 Days of Christmas sale. Right now, biggest sale of the year. You will not ever see a sale this big, maybe ever again. It's how big it is. tvnation.net. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate your time.